Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you are having a wonderful day or night so far, whenever you guys are watching this video. So today I will be showing my coloring process using alcohol markers to color this fan art piece of the character Chongyun from the game Genshin Impact. I actually filmed this, I think maybe 1 or 2 weeks after my previous video, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is really great. I'm going to upload another video and my viewers aren't going to have to wait like months on end for the next one. And obviously that didn't happen. I feel like in the past with my previous videos, I have a really slow upload rate just because I get very busy with work, and so I don't really have a lot of time to put together content on a more like consistent, frequent basis. But surprisingly, that was not the case with this video. I've actually had a pretty light schedule for the past 2 months. I've been working maybe 40 to 50 hours a week, and I have weekends off, which is incredible. So you would think with all of the free time that I have that I would just be able to churn out more videos more frequently for you guys, and I thought so as well. But I guess I'm just one of those who, even with my free time, I'm just a slow uploader and procrastinator. So the holdup with this video was actually the voiceover part, because I remember every weekend I would kind of make my to-do list of things that I wanted to get done for that weekend, while I was off from work. And every week I would put, I have to do this voiceover and upload this video and all of that. But I think the biggest hurdle for me was just trying to figure out what I wanted to say in my voiceover for this video. I don't do any scripts or anything like that for my videos unless it's like some sort of review where I want to make sure I cover all the important points. But typically when I do my voiceovers, I just kind of talk about whatever and just kind of ad-lib and discuss whatever comes to mind. I think I was so worried that in doing that for this voiceover, it would just be very similar to what I've said a lot in my previous videos, where I talk about how busy I am with being at work and kind of bringing you guys up to speed with where I've been. And it just felt like that was too redundant to keep kind of that style for my videos. And so I think I just kept pushing it off every weekend because I was like, no, I'm gonna wait until I have something better to talk about and all of that, especially because typically when I do my voiceovers, I try to provide content for the duration of the video, as opposed to kind of just talking a little bit about whatever is on my mind and then going silent and just like letting music run in the background for the remainder of the video. It's not that I suddenly had a spark of like inspiration of what to talk about. I feel like at this point that I'm just like, I have been putting this off for nearly 2 months now, and it's been sitting in my folder, and I really need to just get this voiceover done. So we're just gonna go with it, and we're just gonna do some random ramblings. Not that that's anything different from what I typically do in my videos, but we'll just see where it goes. So I guess we could start off with me just talking more about what you guys are watching in the video. So as I had mentioned previously at the beginning, this is me using alcohol markers to color this fan art piece of Chongyun, who is a character from Genshin Impact. If you've been watching my previous videos, you'll know that I am a huge Genshin Impact fan, and I play a lot of that in my free time. I think it's a great game, and it's wonderful that it's available on so many different platforms, so it's very accessible, and it's also free. I mostly play this game on my phone just because it's very easy for me to just pick up my phone and start playing, even though it really kills the battery. I just remember when I was filming this piece, I was kind of going through this weird like art block where I really wanted to draw something and kind of make art, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to draw. And so I decided to just go with one of those like screenshot, redraw type of things. And I remember thinking I really want to draw something Genshin just because I've been playing so much of it. But the thing about Genshin Impact is that the characters have really, really like intricate and complex designs, and with me being super OCD and detail oriented, I feel like a lot of times when I try drawing Genshin Impact characters just for fun when I'm in the mood to draw, is that I get very frustrated because I end up pulling a ton of references online just to make sure I get their outfits right and get all the details correct, that at the end it's just no longer a fun like drawing session for me, just because I spend too much time just trying to get all the little details in. So I decided to choose Chongyun just because his design is not as intricate and crazy as some of the other characters. And so after doing some Google searching for some screenshots, I decided to go with this one, which is from his Hangout event. It's funny because I don't think I did a lot of referencing back to this original screenshot, which I'll put up on the screen so that you guys could compare it side by side. But I think I looked at the original screenshot and was thinking to myself, okay, so that's kind of the general gist of the pose and everything, and then I just kind of took off with it on my own when drawing the piece and not really looking back to kind of compare much. And I remember when I was looking at the finished piece and comparing it to the screenshot, I was just like, oh my gosh, it looks very, very different, and he actually looks very childish and chubby, which I didn't mean to do. It's funny because I didn't even realize that that's what it turned out to be until I compared it with the original. I think I'm a little, I wouldn't say disappointed, but I think I could have done a much better job doing the Screencap redraw. I mean, it was still fun, and it still turned out very nice. I drew this in my Plumchester 6x6" sketchbook, which is a brand by the company Art Snacks, who does the monthly like art supply subscription box thing as well. I remember getting this sketchbook, I think a few years ago when they first rolled out their Plumchester line. And at that time, I was also subscribed to Art Snacks, so I was getting their like mystery boxes with art supplies every month and thinking, wow, this is going to be a great sketchbook to kind of pair with this art subscription, because every month they kind of do like an art challenge where you try to use the supplies in the box to create a piece. And so I thought it would be really cool to kind of do that in their own brand of sketchbook, but unfortunately that was very short-lived. For their paper, I would say it's marketed as mixed media paper, but it does not take wet media well at all. I remember using multiple different kinds of wet media like water-based markers and watercolors, and this paper just immediately absorbs anything wet that goes into it. And so that makes it nearly impossible to really blend anything when you're using wet media. And at this point, I mostly just use this sketchbook for dry media only, because that seems to be the only thing that it can handle. But even then, there can be a lot of feathering depending on what ink you might use. So with alcohol markers, I feel like those are kind of on the fence between like, is it dry media, is it wet media? With this piece, it just feathers so much, and I think it's because with alcohol markers, you really have to do a lot of layering and blending to kind of get the gradients and all of that with your colors. And I guess that just makes it too saturated on the paper that it starts feathering all over the place. And so you might notice it near the top of Chongyun's head, kind of by his hair, that the color was kind of bleeding over the line art, which kind of made it frustrating just because I feel like it kind of muddied this piece a little bit. I mean, it still turned out pretty nice, but I think I'm now gonna just strictly use this sketchbook for just dry media, like doodles with my Cool Erase colored pencils and maybe some fine liner work. But other than that, I think I'm just gonna have to save all my alcohol marker art and my wet media art to a different sketchbook. So there's that. Apparently I've been already rambling for like over 9 minutes at this point, so I guess we'll kind of end the video here. If you made it this far, thank you so much for kind of watching it until the end and for putting up with my very random ramblings. So yeah, so I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video.